place of epic landscapes and dramatic coastlines. I'm Caroline Quentin, and I'm travelling west to a county that really does showcase the best of Britain's natural beauty. So come with me on my Cornish adventure. It's a land that's dear to my heart, where beaches meet moors.
It is, I think, the best part of the British Isles. It's absolutely stunning. I'll stay here forever.
Where would you want to be anywhere better? Sun in the face, the clean blue air coming in off the ocean, heaven on earth.
And cliffs surrender to the mighty Atlantic.
It's a magical place. It really is. I look at it every day and I tell myself, you know, do not ever take this for granted. It's beautiful.
Therapeutic qualities of living with the water and being by the sea is just amazing, awesome.
Come along for the ride as I take in the sights.
That is awesome! That's awesome!
The sounds.
White stockings she wore.
And the stories.
It's just so exhilarating. And when you're swooshing along, it's wonderful.
Of a Cornish summer.
So enjoy the views. I know I will. As beautiful as the sea looks today, it can be a pretty scary place to work. The fishermen who work off this coast have one of the most difficult, perilous and pungent jobs I can think of. But it's worth it because there are up to 40 different species of edible fish in this water. And I'm ashamed to say that I think I've only actually eaten 39 of them. Mackerel, obviously, cod, hake, halibut, Dover sole, Helford mussels, I love, prawns, razor clams you can get off the beach, actually. Stickleback, no, not sticklebacks, that's a freshwater fish. Silly woman.
Well, there's one chef who's hoping there's enough seafood to go around. We'll be catching up with Simon, who's serving up a whopping paella at this secret little shack.
We've got a family here from Valencia. They're not like they're putting too much pressure on. They seem to be watching me like a hawk.
And I'll be dropping in on campsite owner Debs to sample a bit of the good life.
Oh, God, have tomato and basil salad just walking along.
Earlier in the series, I met up with Jess and Claire from Unique Homestays, one of Cornwall's most successful holiday rental companies, and had a look around the latest lavish property to come on their books. Claire is the business's marketing manager, so it's up to her to find new ways of getting guests into properties. And her latest thought is making the most of Cornwall's natural beauty to say, I do.
With our weddings, we found more and more people were kind of moving away from wanting to get married in a church. They wanted it to be a lot more bespoke.
Claire is meeting up with humanist wedding coordinator Zena Birch at one of their properties, a stunning Victorian country cottage in lush woodland near Helford. They're taking a grand tour with its owners to see if the place could be marketed as a potential humanist celebration venue.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Jane. Anthony. Anthony, hello, nice to meet you.
Zena has been known to marry couples in all kinds of unusual locations. She finds that Cornwall is an ever-popular place to exchange vows.
I find that quite a lot of the clients who come through me are often asking to get married somewhere down in Cornwall because either it's somewhere that they grew up with their family and they have such memories attached to it, or it's somewhere where they holidayed with their partner. But as you drive down towards the property, down through the woods, you just can't be prepared for how magical it actually looks.
All the original windows and everything as well.
The top parts are hand-carved oak, and then it's pine on the straight bits that come down, and then oak sills.
Gorgeous. Did you put those trunks in, holding up the
we
wood?
did, yeah.
Are they from the woods here as well?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
For Claire, practicality is the key. The property has to be able to accommodate wedding guests come rain or shine.
So this is the old part of the house. Everything in here is original. It's beautiful.
It's at least
isn't it?
200 years old. There's so many different places in this venue itself where people could get married. So a lot of people would be really interested in trying to do something in the woods. Your garden is perfect.
Yeah.
Even just the tiny little bit of stream that you cross over.
The old
from
Clapham
the road.
Bridge.
Exactly. I mean, there's just something exceptionally charming about that.
Yeah, this would be a beautiful place for
Yeah.
bride and groom to walk in through onto
See
the
it.
bridge. Everybody else gathered here.
Really special, isn't it, I think? To have it in a private home as well, and it's exclusive and it's only...
Feels intimate.
Yeah.
It's a great destination, so I think today's gone very well.
The property is amazing, perfect for ceremonies. I don't think it could have gone better. Perfect.
Claire looks to be onto a winner here, and so will the first lucky couple to exchange vows in this perfect, peaceful place. It's one thing enticing people to come and stay in Cornwall, but tempting them to take up a more permanent residence requires a special touch.
Good morning, Sylvia. It's Rosie at Marshall's. How are you?
In the tiny village of Mousel, in the far reaches of West Cornwall, Rosie Blewett knows only one way to do business: the village way.
I work here in Marshall's in the Mousel office, in a little tiny fishing village. It's not somewhere where you'd expect to see an estate agents, but we do actually do very well.
Rosie makes up part of this team of estate agents and has lived in the village all her life.
Mousel's world famous. They get holidaymakers from all over the world, and once they've been, and once they've stayed in the village, everyone falls in love with it. It's like being on holiday every day. It's because it doesn't feel real. Mousel doesn't feel real.
I'm sold, and so are scores of holidaymakers who take a trip here every year, encounter this jolly bunch of ladies and take the decision to migrate west.
Hello, is that Claire? The viewings are always good fun because you're trying your best to really show off a place, and one of the local fishermen might say something very rude to you, or rude about the property or something like that. If a property's up for, you know, $250,000, they'll shout out, you're being robbed, you know.
Let's face it, estate agents often get a bad press for their, shall we say, inventive use of sales speak. But in a close-knit community like this, that's not an option.
We could never tell any lies in our office. They end up as your neighbours, really. You queue up in the shop with them and stuff. But I like it.
Today, Rosie's introducing a couple from Northern Ireland to the charms of Mousel, and she's hoping they'll be sympathetic to the compact style of living. They don't call it Mousel for nothing, you know.
They are definitely keen on having a second home to let out, so hopefully they'll come and fall in love with it, and job will be a good one. Mind the steps.
She's showing them around this two-bedroom property right in the heart of the village. It's on the market for just under £190,000.
Nice work surfaces. Ladies always like them.
This rather bijou home is typical of Cornish cottages and would have been built for the village's fishermen. It's perfect second home territory, which has become an increasingly controversial matter here in Cornwall.
The generation before me, people in their sort of 60s, I think they actually did find it hard to stomach because suddenly their village was taken over. I'm a bit more used to it, and with a bit more of a modern approach, I can see that without that income from the tourist trade and the second homes, our restaurants wouldn't survive, the pub wouldn't survive, all these local people wouldn't have jobs, the village shop. We need it.
Rosie is certainly selling her socks off here, but for her it comes easily, and welcoming new friends to the village is second nature.
You definitely feel you're selling more than a house. You're selling them a new lifestyle, and you really want them to enjoy it, definitely.
And Mousel is so secluded and so hidden off that
I know.
it just seems to be the gem in the Cornwall
Jewel
coast.
in the crown. We've got to keep it that way. I say to everyone, with my hand on my heart, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I wouldn't move out of Mousel because it is so lovely.
Well, what an endorsement. Spoken like a true estate agent.
Well, I couldn't bring you to Cornwall without talking about my passion, my favourite hobby, and a lot of us head up here to the north coast to search for the cribber. It's a big wave. Often we find it at Fistral Beach, and it can reach 30 foot, and we're all really out there to just shred it, which is what I plan to do this afternoon, because Surf's up, dude. So I'm out of here. Catch you later.
When it comes to beaches, Cornwall is Britain's answer to California, with over 300 beautiful stretches of sand bridging the lapping waves and the imposing cliffs. The beaches alone bring millions of sun worshippers flooding southwest every year, rain or shine. But they also tempt another breed of sun seeker to the shores. Surfing is a Cornish passion. It brings £200 million into the UK economy. 21 million of that is generated in this county alone. There's a really strong surfing community here made up of locals and incomers. But some members of that club are not who you might perhaps expect. Meet 87-year-old Cyril and 88-year-old Charmian Cannon, who bring the silver to surfing of the traditional variety. Bellyboarding, as it's become known.
Well, Cornwall. If you come to Cornwall, you have to bellyboard.
Never used to be called bellyboarding, it was just called surfing, because it was the only kind of surfing.
These bellyboarding veterans from North London have been coming to the shores of Chapel Porth on the north coast for holidays since before the war.
When we used to go on family holidays when I was a child, we did it, and up in Morganporth and wherever we went, you know, it was part of the holiday.
They met nearly 60 years ago, fell in love, and old romantic Cyril knew there was only one place to pop the question.
You proposed marriage on St Agnes'
Yes, I did.
Head. That was 1960 though. You went on one knee. Didn't.
Cyril and Charmian have experienced a magnetic pull to this hidden cove, so much so that they've put down roots here.
And we used to pass this house every time we came down to Chapel Porth, which became our favourite beach, carrying surfboards and all that stuff down the valley, and thought, what a wonderful place. That was us doing it in 1956. When I first came, it was absolutely wild.
They're fans of traditional plywood boards and still have the originals that they began surfing with.
She made 4 with the different card symbols, hearts, spades, clubs and diamonds, but we only got hearts left. I think the others have fallen apart.
As Cyril and Charmian approach their 90s, they're still taking on the waves with fearless enjoyment. In a week's time, the World Bellyboarding Championships are rolling into town, and we'll see them joining the throng of competitors. I, for one, can't wait to see that. It's not just Cyril and Charmian that have a wealth of stories about this place. Some of my fondest memories are of family holidays spent here. But I've never tried the good old British tradition of camping. Apparently there's nowhere quite like it to pitch up, be at one with the elements and run free in the glorious countryside. So I couldn't do a tour of the county without popping in to meet Debs at Trelone Campsite on the magnificent Roseland Peninsula.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hi,
welcome to Trelone.
Oh, good to meet you.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here, and it's so beautiful.
It's the height of summer and there's a real sense of relaxation and unwinding here. I wonder how Debs has managed it.
So you've never run a campsite before and you suddenly decided, I know what we'll do. We'll take over the running of this. It's quite big campsite. How many tents and things can you get here?
It's about 60 odd pitches, but because we're open all year, we've got a few hard standings where the older people come. As soon as the school holidays are over, we get what we call the Wrinklies. That's their words, not mine. They phone me up and they say, Debs, the Wrinklies are coming. Have you got my pitch? And I say, yeah. Yeah, it's not massive, and that's what some people like. Some people like to go camping and have a coffee shop, a clubhouse, arcades, but people come here for the opposite thing, where you have your tent, the kids are outside playing, it's safe, and they make friends with other children and they don't need to give them money all the time.
And pets welcome?
Pets welcome, yeah.
As you'll see my
pets
there.
in a minute.
Yeah, oh really? All right.
I have more.
If I was to run a campsite, I think this is how I'd do it. Debs has spent 3 years turning this place into one of Cornwall's most popular campsites. This year, it's fully booked, and there's no wonder. It's more than just a pit stop place. Debs has made it part of her manifesto to involve the happy campers in a bit of the good life.
Oh,
Right, so
thank you,
this
Billy.
is where we keep our sheep in the
Brilliant.
allotment.
Fantastic.
So every morning we feed the chickens and collect the eggs.
With the children of the campsite?
Yeah, yeah. This is Sean and Shirley.
Your little horns are coming through. Oh, look, little buds there. I'm a sheep lover. It's official.
I feel quite at home here, wandering around all this land. It's a sanctuary for Debs, away from the camping chaos.
This is Mac. He does our firesides. Come garden.
Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
This is who we share the allotment with.
I've always enjoyed your work.
Thank you very much. Can I have a look at your work?
Well, you can. You might want to leave your coat behind. It's a bit hot.
Look at your tomatoes. No, I've got tomato envy. That's gone badly wrong. Oh, can I eat one of these?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Do you sell it to the campers?
We don't really sell it. We use it ourselves, and then we've got an honesty stall just by the office, and people, can just take what they want and leave some money if they want in a little box.
God, it's what a great... Oh, and you've got some basil. Oh, God. You have tomato and basil salad just walking along. This is bloody marvellous, this garden. Nice boat. Whose boat is that?
That's the race boat, isn't it,
Yeah.
Debs?
Every year we have regatta in Port Scatho. We've got a lot of work to do on it, haven't we, Mac?
Yeah, a little touch-up here and there, nothing serious.
It doesn't actually look watertight at all. Do you think it's going to be all right?
Well, first year we went extremely fast
Oh, we were
in the wrong
slicing.
direction.
Unfortunately,
Mac was
it's a
steering.
navigational error.
Where you were heading out to the Sillies really quickly. Bless your heart.
So unfortunately, they call me Sat-Nav now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mac-nav.
Mac-nav.
Mac-nav now.
I'm going to patent it, yeah.
Oh, good luck with
So
it.
hopefully this is a year. We're gonna
Third
win
time
this
lucky.
year. Third time lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cheery place. It's what holidays should be all about. Earlier in the series, I discovered a very special little place, a couple of miles away at Porthcurnick Beach on the south coast. It's the first season for Gemma and Simon running the Hidden Hut, so I couldn't resist dropping in, although I got more than I bargained for.
I've got a few here for you to be getting
How
on with.
many have you got to do for tonight, do you know?
There's only 400.
OK, I'll do 4.
On selected summer evenings, it comes alive with feast nights, and tonight is one of those nights.
We've got seafood paella on the beach, and so lucky that the sun's come out.
These intriguing feast nights are Chef Simon's idea. He works during the day for a fish supplier, so tonight's seafood paella is the perfect recipe.
There's so much amazing fish around at the minute. Just got to drop this in the van, get down to the beach and get the pans fired up.
Word has spread fast and the community has reacted well. The simple idea is that guests purchase a ticket, bring along a bowl and enjoy the food.
We get a huge mix of people who come to these things. All sorts of locals, holiday makers. Had someone from the Netherlands call up this morning. We've gone international here.
Right, let's get involved.
We've got lots of hands-on to help, though, so it should be plain... Well, probably shouldn't say that, but it should be plain sailing from now.
Ooh, how many times have I heard that?
This lovely local squid, it's right in the middle of its season at the minute. It has the wings on here, and just run your fingers under the membrane and just peel the wings off. Membrane in the back, which you just ease out. And then you just literally just scrape the squid just to get it lovely and clean.
It's quite a showy recipe, which is perfect for the gathering guests. Not that Simon appears to have noticed them.
Good seafood and a really good stock. I'd say it's probably the real key to a good paella.
And suddenly, Simon seems to be feeling the pressure.
We've got a family here from Valencia. They seem to be watching me like a hawk.
And there's even more pressure.
Without telling Simon, I may have slightly overbooked on numbers. He thinks there's only going to be 120. We've actually got 139. I'm not going to tell him, though. We'll just see at the end.
Gemma just has to hope that the masses don't pile up their plates.
Oh, that's a very modest plate, Dave.
I was going to bring a dustbin in.
That is a delicious hat, Dave, you got yourself there. Yeah.
It's nearly as delicious as the food here.
Oh, you think so?
So far, so good.
We are over halfway. The queue is still quite long. And there's tables which still haven't stood up yet, so I don't know.
At least the guests haven't noticed. With everybody fed, Gemma and Simon have pulled it off. There are even some leftovers.
I think everyone seems to be pretty satisfied with their plate of paella. No, it's all good, really good.
You always overcook. You know, what's your saying? Never knowingly under-cater.
That's it.
It's been a successful first summer for this pair. If they can come to the end of the season with smiles still on their faces, something must be right.
This has definitely become living the dream, and I'm loving it.
What better to work in a place where you're literally overlooking a lovely beach and a beautiful ocean?
And long may it last.